With Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, something tells me Mark Garrigus might have some inside scoop on this. The founder of the sex cult known as Nexium was found guilty Wednesday of federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges, according to a prosecutor's office spokesman. Keith Rainier, that was his name, or is his name. Conviction comes after one of the top leaders in the group, Allison Mack, who was on Smallville, the actress, pleaded guilty in April to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and racketeering. In September, she'll be sentenced. According to prosecutors, Nexium was a sexual pyramid scheme that included sex slavery, child porn, extortion, branding, degradation, and humiliation. And on a side note, I don't recall her because I was more of a Falcon Crest girl, but apparently Dynasty star Catherine Oxenberg, she brought Nexium to the attention of the authorities in the first place because her daughter India became a member in 2011.
Catherine Oxenberg. Yeah, she was one of those sort of 80s, 90s blonde hotties and all those. They had all those like Dynasty, Falcon Crest, Dallas, and all those kinds of shows that just needed a whole bunch of hot young chicks. It was light lifting in the acting department. It was more about looking good, and you had. I'm sure the audition was storming out of the room, like no dialogue. We need you to turn around. I need a lot of hair, and then you storm,
march out of the room.
You seethe,
and we'll see who can seethe and who can fling their hair, and cover enough volume, and then lean, walk with enough purpose. Because there was a lot of storming out of. That's right. There was a lot of guys with brandy snifters, and they were going, Missy, you knew the deal when you signed up for the rodeo. And they go, huh, and they march out of the room.
Or if they're really acting, yell, you bastard.
Right, yeah.
A lot of bastards.
A lot of bastards storming out. But they didn't have to do a lot of long form stuff. You know.
Not all the pages to memorize.
It was more about having good 80s hair and really being able to storm in high heels.
Of course. It's much harder that way.
Even in a nightgown, they'd still wear the high heels, which is a good, comfortable
look.
That's
a great look.
I'm here for the audition. I didn't get any sides. That's right.
That's right.
That's right, you didn't.
You know what your side is? Go outside and be in a fucking hurry. We'll see how good you can get outside from inside. You go to JR's, you go to his den, and then we'll see how fast you can get to the pool.
That's good.
That'll be your audition.
Okay, no, he just cut you out of the will.
That's right.
Action.
That's right.
That's right.
And he'll do a move. What we need you to do, rich guys, you got to put on the smoking jacket, and you have to get good at doing a backhanded cheek drag rub thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to talk, you need to be condescending, talk about how naive. And there's a part where you go, it must be nice to be you as I drag my hand along your cheek.
Okay, now your line is, we both play the same game, and your line is, I'm not your whore.
That's
action.
Right. So naive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, every once in a while I'll note that it'd be a pity to have something nice, have something bad happen to such a beautiful face.
That's good.
It'd be a pity.
Yeah. And she just has to stare like a rabbit in headlights. On Wednesday, Congress gathered to discuss H.R. 40. That is a bill that would create a commission to address the lasting effects of slavery and consider a national apology and reparations. And I've noticed a lot of people seem to be running on that platform right now in the Democratic Party. It came a day after Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said that he doesn't support reparations, quote, for something that happened 150 years ago, for whom none of us currently living are responsible. Well, that remark from McConnell brought a heated response from writer Ta-Nehisi Coates, whose 2014 article, The Case for Reparations, published in The Atlantic, kickstarted this current debate. So here's a clip from the hearing in which Coates addresses slavery and beyond and references Mitch McConnell.
By the time the enslaved were emancipated, they comprised the largest single asset in America. $3 billion in $1860, more than all the other assets in the country combined. The method of cultivating this asset was neither gentle cajoling nor persuasion, but torture, rape, and child trafficking. Enslavement reigned for 250 years on these shores. When it ended, this country could have extended its hallowed principles, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to all regardless of color. But America had other principles in mind. And so for a century after the Civil War, black people were subjected to a relentless campaign of terror, a campaign that extended well into the lifetime of Majority Leader McConnell.
I'll do a deep dive on this maybe tomorrow. Slavery, reparations. Some
finally get to the bottom of this.
Are you going to fix it?
I don't. There's an emotional problem.
What if it was just Adam saying sorry? We just moved on.
There's a problem. I don't care about the financial aspects of it. There's a victimization thing that's going on in this country times a million. It's not just black folks, women, many cultures, many groups, proclivities. It's not helpful. It's not good. It's not good to make anyone feel that way. It's the least productive thing. It's the way to hurt people the most, is to make them feel like you can do it on a micro and a macro scale. If you walked into a party and you thought people at that party, if somebody came up to you and, people look down on you and people don't think you're as smart as the other people at the party, they don't think you're as capable as other people at the party, that would ruin your experience. And whatever was going on at that party, you'd have a difficult time joining in. If it was a game of charades, you'd have difficulty in it. It's hurtful. It doesn't help groups. The notion of we're going to help you by giving you stuff sounds good. There are many things in life that make sense, but life is much more of a winding road than a straight path. And the reparations psychologically, I think, are just a further victimization, psychological syndrome that's going on. I think it's bad emotionally. I don't really care about the money part.
Well, that's the question is, say what all-inclusive reparations means is, I think in their words, is an acknowledgement that it happened, a deep national apology, from the government, and then figuring out if there's some monetary compensation. So,
yes.
Do you think? Because I really don't know. Because I know on a micro level in relationships it makes a difference. I don't know on a national level if it does. If you have someone from the government saying, we acknowledge this. It was, as we have, but it was a disgusting, vile time in our history. We are embarrassed, mortified, appalled, and deeply sorry. Please accept this acknowledgement and this apology. Do you think that moves the needle anymore?
No, but you can do it anyway.
Has that never been done?
A relationship?
Well, because you think about Germany, right?
Yeah.
And that was obviously well more within many of our lifetimes, grandparents and stuff. But when they did a national apology and acknowledgement of the Holocaust, and there were reparations, basically because people were still holding their stuff, their paintings and their jewelry, it seems to have moved the country forward.
Yeah. I don't know how Germany's doing, but it's not going to hurt. I mean, the apology is not going to hurt. The giving away the financial part never works. It always just weakens people. We've done it already at this whole sort of social welfare, everything. Who's it hurting? Who's it helping? Who's the recipient of it? How are they doing? And how the hell do you figure it out? I don't know, because if you take certain folks, I don't know how first off, a lot of people, for a very small group, have a direct connection to slavery who are in this country. I don't know, 5%. It's a low number of people have a direct connection of profiting. Also then, what about any white people who have descendants who died in the Civil War, for instance, who died fighting for the North? What about all the people that gave their lives trying to do away with slavery? What about that white guy who's down on his luck? Does he get any benefit because his great-great-great-grandpappy died fighting someone from the South? I don't know. And then everyone is so mixed, and so, my family's from Italy. My dad's family wasn't here. I mean, many people weren't here. The overwhelming majority of people weren't here. Then you go, well, but what about the benefits of slavery when you weren't here and then you came here and there was infrastructure? Right. Or I don't know. I'll take a deeper dive in tomorrow. You guys will be interesting, because I don't think this topic is going anywhere. You'll be surprised, but it's not. Nothing no group is ever really fixed from the outside in. Everything has to be fixed from the inside out. So the black community is suffering right now, or has always suffered, and we want apology, and we want prison reform, and we want to do away with the expulsions and whatnot, and the school system, and blah, blah, blah. Those are all outside, which help, but they never fix. It's a boat, basically. If there's sort of water coming in, you got to patch the roof. Patching the ceiling kind of helps, but it doesn't really stop what's going on. There's a version of this. No one wants to hear it. It's family and education, and we got to get back to that. All groups that focus on family and education, all groups that are intact statistically in terms of the mom and the dad and the whatever. Look, you say whatever you want. If you said, and you'd be statistically right, whatever your kid is, let's just say you have one kid, you have a goal for that kid. Would you want that kid to be black or gay or female or Asian or whatever? They all pale in comparison to having two parents raise that kid. So what you would hope for your kid is not to be raised by a white person. You'd be much better off raised by a black woman and a black man, an intact family. Statistically, that makes the biggest impact. We do the stupid nonsense where like, well, your son's gay or your daughter's your daughter. She's a female. She's oppressed, or they're black or they're Hispanic or whatever. All pale in comparison to a mom and a dad in the house. Now, once you get the mom and the dad in the house, then some groups, I don't know, Jews or Asians might do marginally better, but they all do better. It transcends all of the negative stuff of the color of your skin or the religion or your sexual proclivities. They're all dwarfed by intact mom and dad statistically, in terms of your kid and your kid's future. So knowing that, we can obsess over whether your son is gay or your daughter's or lesbian or the skin is black or brown or tan or whatever it is, but we should probably give a little lip service to the families sticking together as well. It's a simple statistic equation. Politicians are cowards. They don't want to go near it. Cory Booker's going to push reparations in the name of being a champion for black people. He's not going to say a fucking word about black families because he's a coward. Okay, so if you want to help black people, then you can talk about reparations, but each time you talk about reparations, you should talk about intact families 5 times in a row. That's the way you should do it. But they don't want to do that, and that's the society we live in, and he understands what's going on.
Well, and we have enough stories, in the news, and we bring it up enough where people abscond to, the Florida Keys or whatever because they don't want to raise their kids. I don't know that really knows any color boundaries. That's just a problem in general.
No. It's a biological mandate.
It transcends demographics.
It transcends everything. You would rather have your... You would rather have your kids raised by 2 lower income, intact lower income family than a single higher income, whatever. It fixes things. It's amazing how good nature has that down. And when I say nature, works that way in nature. That's how nature works.
Look no further than the, I'm guessing, 1983 Drew Barrymore vehicle, Irreconcilable Differences.
That's
Shelley
right.
Long and Tatum O'Neal's dad.
Yes.
She ends up emancipating herself to go live with the nanny because they're more stable and the family's more full of love.
No further than the real Drew Barrymore.
Harrington life.
Yes.
Right. Well,
hold on. Max Bata found another Beverly Hillbillies version.
Yeah, I think this is the one Gina had.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a man called Jed. He had lots of hair, but it wasn't on his head. Then one day, he was shooting at some food, and up from the ground came a lady in the nude.
Close.
Naked, that is. Boobs and all. Before you know, old Jed was in bed, a humping and a hub until his balls went red. Then in came Granny with a T16 and blew his balls to smithereens.
Oh, I should do that.
Close.
You should do that in concert. Like,
Yeah,
people want to...
Don't enjoy themselves.
Finger
they
poppin'.
want stuff they know.
Yeah.
They want finger popping music.
Catchy.
Hooks, familiar,
enjoy-
That felt a lot different than what I usually
head nodding,
Yeah.
finger
Toe
popping.
tapping.
Way better response.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So a big twist in this Big Papi situation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Authorities in the Dominican Republic said Wednesday that David Ortiz was not the intended target of the suspect who shot him at that bar. So rather, the gunman was supposed to shoot Ortiz's cousin, Sisto David Fernandez, who was dressed similarly to Ortiz and was sitting at the table. A man named Victor Hugo Gomez, who's a wanted criminal in America, is the alleged man behind the shooting. According to the Associated Press, Gomez wanted Fernandez dead for turning him in to narcotics investigators several years ago.
Oh, this is a drug-related thing.
Yeah, Big Papi had nothing to do with this.
Maybe it was the name, because in order to make heroin, you need Papi.
Oh,
and
that's
maybe
a good
Big
point.
Papi, they thought of like
Opium
Big
and-
Pharma.
Yeah.
He's
You know what I
holding-
mean? This is Big Papi. That guy's taking over the Papi
The number one
trade.
competition. Take him out.
You got to take out Big Papi.
You know what's preventing us from really making money?
Big Papi.
So they're just like street vigilantes against the man.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
like
They're
it.
just businessmen.
I didn't realize that.
Well,
So that's
think
another
about the
twist.
name, yeah.
All right. So we'll keep up to date on that. Really interesting quote from Anderson Cooper. He's always been content to make his own money. And the 52-year-old journalist's mother, artist and heiress Gloria Vanderbilt, she died on Monday after a battle with stomach cancer. But although Vanderbilt was very wealthy, Cooper made it clear in a 2014 interview with Howard Stern that his mother was not leaving him anything. No trust fund, nothing. Here's a clip of Anderson talking to Howard and Robin about it. It's under a minute.
You are a multimillionaire?
Am I a multimillionaire?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's in my savings account, but I mean,
Do you
yeah,
stand
I
to
do all
inherit
right.
a lot,
Yeah,
though?
you-
No, there's no inheritance.
Hold it a second.
What?
What? Your mother inherited money. Why shouldn't you inherit money?
I don't believe in inheriting money.
Well, hold it. You
But
don't
that
believe.
doesn't mean
what if
somebody's
you-
not going to leave you.
You don't, if your
No,
mother
that's,
leaves you $100 million,
First of all, that's
if your
a
mother
total
leaves
fantasy.
you $10 million,
It's not going to happen.
What do you mean it's not going to happen? Your mother's
My mom's
broke?
made clear to me that my mom's made clear to me that like that there's no trust fund, there's none of that.
But why? Why is that?
I just don't. I think it's it's an
curse?
initiative sucker. I think it's a curse. What people beyond who's like inherited a lot of money that has gone on to like do things in their own life.
Well, you're right.
If I growing from the time I was growing up, if I felt that there was some like pot of gold waiting for me, I don't know that I would have been so motivated. And
Who's going
What
to
are
be?
you talking about?
Who's going to be on TV tomorrow night yelling about reparations and how great they are?
That's right.
Anderson Cooper.
And here I thought
Interesting.
you were going to respect his thinking.
Give people shit, they lose a little motivation.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
He gets it.
It's not just big lumps of money; little pieces of money will slow people's roll
Well-
as well. That's good that he gets that.
Well, and the
He
way
doesn't get it for other people, but he
No.
gets it for him.
the way he worded it was such that mom made that decision and he has come to terms with it.
Well, he may have been dancing around it a little bit, which is I like when you're like, "Are you a multimillionaire? I haven't checked my account." Like,
Michael Moore.
you know if you are or you're not.
You have multiple houses. You're probably worth.
I'm guessing
$2 million.
yes, but okay. It's not popular to talk about having money. Now I don't know how it all works, but the mom may not have a deal with you, and it may not be memorialized, as they say. But if you have a sibling and that sibling died at 23, and you're left and dad's gone, and there's just not heirs physically left, and then you die and a fortune is left behind. I don't know a ton about like New York law or whatever, and I can talk to Gergis about it, but I just imagine, and she has not said we're giving it to the Lincoln Center
Right,
for our support of the endowment for
the
the
Bill
dance and the
Gates,
arts or
right.
whatever. I just imagine the money just default slides over to you.
I would also imagine that he could be technically correct in the interview with Howard Stern, but also there are many ways to, like, he's probably like, named the trustee of the family foundation or
Maybe
the trust.
so.
So maybe he's not getting an inheritance like, hey, Anderson Cooper, here's $13 million or whatever it is.
He's on the board of directors.
Yeah. He's good.
Perhaps.
He'll be overseeing that money. I'm fairly certain.
Well, she dies. There's $100 million sitting around somewhere, or the form of a couple apartments in Manhattan that she bought for $900,000, and they're now worth $21 million. That then that property, I don't think it's just. I don't think it's just taken by the state.
Right.
I think it just goes to whoever the next oldest or in line is,
Right.
or whoever. And you can, I don't know, look at it a little, Maxipata. I know he had a brother that killed himself. I don't know if she had a sister or sibling. But either way, I think he gets to have his cake and eat it too, because I think he gets a $20 million Manhattan condo and also gets to say to Howard Stern, we don't have a deal.
Right, and I'm sure that $100 million or whatever it is isn't liquid. It's probably entrusted in some estate, foundation, something of which he'll be, like Gina said, on the board of whatever.
Right. Well,
But if she's giving it all the way to the school
Center
system or whatever, then God bless him.
Well, I don't have
Also
that information, but she inherited a trust that was worth $5 million. That was in 1925, so that's about $70 million. But she made way more money with the jeans and the stuff in her life. CelebrityNetWorth.com, which can get it right or get it wrong, has estimated her worth at $200 million.
So unless she's giving it away, he's going to be in line for. She's stuck with it.
Poor guy.
So be prepared not to be motivated, Anderson, for a while.
He should go on the air tonight in the crown, the scepter.
That's right. Yeah, King Ralph. Hold on, let me have another hit off my chalice and think about this one.
My pimp cup.
Yeah. Now it's making me think about my own family. Mm-hmm. Am I going to get the trumpet back that I buy my dad?
Poor little rich girl,
or am I
Adam
going to have
Carolla.
to argue with my sister over that when the old man kicks off?
We have to pay off a lot of, rent and debt.
Yeah, yours is going to be more next of kin debt.
I'm going to I think I can make a pretty strong argument with my sister that since I bought him the flugelhorn some months earlier, that I should get that whole horn back, even if it's worth half of what I paid for
Right.
it. I should be splitting that one with you.
Right.
Muffin recipes, you're getting that kind of stuff.
I'll give her like the mouthpiece and some valve oil. Call it a day.
Sure.
Feeling generous.
Ooh, I wonder if you get back the champagne that your mom wouldn't open when she realized it was just for her.
Yeah, that was a great move.
Not for the family.
That's what you call a tell. Gloria had a half sister,
but she died in 1944. They both became heiresses and got each the trust fund money, the $5 million equivalent to $71 million in 2018. But yeah, her half sister died in 1944.
Huh.
So.
So I'm guessing Anderson's going to get a bunch of money. I wish I knew him.
Same.
I'd be like, hey man, I heard you on Stern, and I feel you, man. And I know
I'm going to take that burden from you.
You don't want that.
you want to keep that fire stoked in your belly, right? I, conversely, am looking to travel while high. So,
well, I got the show to do tonight. So
this is a roller skate and a key situation, Anderson. I think we can work this one out.
So I'm looking to unload $200 million, and you could use some or all of it.
Brewster's Millions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some sad news. WFMZ reports that a shooting outside a nightclub in Allentown, Pennsylvania has left at least 10 people wounded. They reported that most or all of the victims just left the Deja Vu nightclub. They're just standing, hanging on the sidewalk. Police say shots were fired on people leaving the club around 2 a.m. Thursday morning. Many of the victims still remain in the hospital. They are expected to survive. Authorities have not yet released any details about the suspected shooter or a motive, but they believe it was a drive-by. The Deja Vu club has been the scene of other violent incidents in the past, but this wounded 10 people filing out of the club.
Isn't Deja Vu a strip club?
Here it is.
Oh, there it's...
I'm not sure if it is there.
Well, it's probably not a library. It's probably some kind of club.
Christian Science reading room.
Yeah. Huh. Is our Deja Vu... Where is that club? Yeah.
There is Deja Vu strip clubs, but there's also... I went to a Deja Vu bar before one time, so it's a common name. I don't know what it is.
It's a little left out. I like this song.
I do too.
It's a drive-by, like gang stuff?
That's literally all the information they've put out, because this just happened.
It's in Pennsylvania. I always like this song. All right, what else we got?
How many more you want, you think? Couple?
3.
Okay, you got it. So Adam Sandler, his movies might struggle a little at the box office, but he is going strong on Netflix. His latest movie, Murder Mystery, that's the one co-starring Jennifer Aniston, chalked up to be the biggest opening weekend ever for a Netflix movie. That was 31 million unique accounts watching it in the first 3 days.
I have never sold stock so hard as I have in Netflix movies.
Yeah.
I've been burned. I've been torched. I just watched Wine Country. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was a terrible, terrible movie.
What is Wine Country?
You guys know Wine Country?
Oh, with all the ladies.
Yeah, Amy Poehler stars and directs, which I had high hopes. I like Amy Poehler.
Like
She's
Bridesmaids in Napa.
Holy shit.
Wow.
It's terrible.
Really?
It's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why is it? How can it be?
It is.
How can it be?
How can that be? The character.
What gives?
Okay, so
What's the meaning?
it's sort of a girls' away weekend, right? They're in wine country. They're like celebrating a friend's Rachel Dratch's 50th birthday, and it's Maya Rudolph. It's Tina Fey is in there. It's a bunch of funny ladies who all Anna Gasteyer's in there. This is a bunch of funny ladies, and I'm like, oh, this ought to be good. Okay, so I'm going to compare it to two other, similar structured movies like Bridesmaids. The characters are big and they're funny, and you want to see more of them. You want more Melissa McCarthy. You want more Rose Byrne. These are big, fun characters you want to see more of. And then like Sideways, right? These are like really subtle characters, like they're really sharply drawn. Yeah, it's Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church. This exists in that horrible middle where they're just boring. Like you don't want to see any more of them. They're not interesting. I couldn't tell you anything about most of these characters after seeing the movie. Like I don't know what the character in the back, the brunette in the back right, I don't know who she, I know a character's name, I don't know anything about her, I don't know her backstory, I couldn't tell you anything about this character, and it's a series of uninteresting vignettes. It's like, Adam, I imagined your mom coming home after a weekend with the girls and like regaling you with all the crazy stories that happened, but none of them are remotely interesting.
Yeah.
At one point they go to an art show and it's all like pretentious millennials, doing like super, highfalutin art. And boy, oh boy, do they skewer those millennials. They really lampoon them. They just torch them.
So it's a humorless romp.
Oh, my God.
It's fresh with the critics.
It is rough.
All right. This is, again,
it's
Barely.
67%. But here's the dealio. Again, it's 31 with the people, but it's 67 with the critics. What I'm saying is
likely
this is getting woke points because it's written, directed, and it's all ladies' night. No, guys don't want to go, and they don't want to do what Brian's doing, which I agree. But here's the whole thing, everybody. We're going to have to start throwing out the whole critics thing if the critics thing's being skewed. If you are a movie reviewer and you've labeled this fresh, that's
a referendum on
this
your
is a
abilities.
bad time. Now, I'm assuming you've labeled it fresh because it's an all-female cast. It's written and directed by female.
I defy you to watch it.
But let's not factor that in.
Right.
Because it's ruining your opinions.
I defy anyone to watch it and tell me their favorite parts. It'll be a short tweet.
Now he wants to watch it.
Well, I was with Jimmy and Molly, his wife, over the weekend playing softball, and I think Molly is in the Sandler movie.
Murder Mystery, yeah?
Yes, so I said I would watch it. But 31 million.
It might be great.
Did you ever end up watching Dumplin'? Because she's in that, and that's a great movie.
Oh, I'm going to watch that one too.
Oh, that's a tearjerker.
Unless it takes place near a softball game, I'm under no onus to watch the movie. Yeah, I'll watch that and the other one.
Dumplin'.
I'll watch Dumplin'.
She's talking about Jennifer Aniston, though, not...
Jennifer Aniston's in Dumplin', too.
Yeah.
Oh, Molly's in it as well?
Yeah, Molly and Jennifer Aniston are both in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got to watch Wine Country.
No.
All right, I'm going to watch it. I will, because I do watch movies and get angry, especially for some reason comedies. I don't know why. All right.
Well, singer Adele seems to be out enjoying life in a new way. And again, where's she been? We haven't really seen her, but apparently she's been undergoing a major body transformation thanks to a new workout routine. And I think we have a picture site and give Kaylin a heads up. The newly divorced, there she is right in the middle.
It's very pretty.
Can you believe it? Look at Adam's face.
Well, no.
Is this Spice Girls?
Adele
she's with the Spice
Adele
Girls.
is a very attractive woman who was heavy.
Yeah.
But the second Anne was able to be attractive while sort of heavy set. But as soon as you lose the pounds, now Of course, there's no
stopping,
math
yeah.
to do other than she's going to be spectacular.
I've seen her in concert. She has the goods. She can sing.
Of course. I think everyone can agree to that. The newly divorced singer unveiled her trimmed down look at a Spice Girls show. That's the picture we're looking at. Her first major outing since starting this major Pilates program that changed her life, that, of course, all the celebrities are signing off on. A source close to the star tells the Britain Sun, quote, Adele has been out enjoying herself and sees this as a priority at the moment, along with being a mom. So this might be a little, divorce.
The Spice Girls are going out on tour. Mm-hmm. They don't have Victoria Beckham.
I was going to say, we're missing one in that picture.
Posh is gone. I mean, I have no idea.
Does something seem wrong with Victoria Beckham? I could never hang. Do you know that feeling of you can't hang with this person?
I don't know that she has a killer sense of humor.
There's people you get vibes off of, right? And you take a guy like I don't know, Chris, what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy? Chris Pratt. And you go, I could hang with that guy.
Like cool
I could hang with that guy.
Yeah.
And little bits and pieces, like he likes to hunt or he hates giving up beer or whatever it is. But you go I feel like I hang just from seeing him.
Yeah.
I could hang with that guy. When you see her, I have the exact opposite feeling. Like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what it's based on other than a bunch
vibe.
of little vibes. Yeah. But she did not join. She did not rejoin.
She doesn't need to.
I was going to say, she's that
Posh
Beckham money.
Spice for a reason.
It also kind of makes you wonder, do you like performing or singing, or is that something like it's like when you talk to actors who don't act, they're just going commercial auditions. You're like, do you really like acting, or you just want to get money for this? And now that we gave you money, you don't have to. Yeah. See what Reparations do? They break up the Spice Girls because Beckham got in there. Huge reparation.
She got her 40 acres and a mule. And where's she now?
She's in Beverly Hills, lounging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Thanks
trust
for putting
her.
In perspective that we can all understand.
I should get in front of Congress and really talk to that Ta-Nehisi Coates guy about my whole Spice Girls. Now, look, I know you people listen to the Spice. Oh, you don't know who the Spice Girls are? Okay.
Let me back up.
So, anyway, yes. And where's Lord or Lords or Lordess?
Wait, there's Lord and Lordess.
Oh, there are?
You want Madonna's daughter, or you want the pop singer Lord?
I don't know, but to me, Madonna's daughter was
Lourdes.
Okay, because that was, to me, when I like it when you get it going both ways. Like Jimmy had a cousin who was from Brooklyn, like an uncle, and he was like, "Hey, you see that Woody Allen movie, Hannah and Her Sisters?" And I'm like, oh, you did them both.
Yep.
You did Hannah
and her sisters.
And her sisters. And when I think it was Larry King I was watching once, and he's like, Madonna's here with her daughter Lourdes. And I remember going, oh, that is so Larry King.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
So Keanu Reeves, man, the older he gets, the more beloved he becomes. We were talking about him the other day, and now there's this giant resurgence. It continues as a petition has been launched to name him Time Magazine's Person of the Year. According to Change.org, the John Wick star deserves the title because he's, quote, the most wholesome person alive who has donated secretly millions of dollars of his earnings to children's hospitals and other charities, and has done amazing things for people in public while asking for nothing in return. As of Wednesday night, 38,000 people have signed the petition. Last year, the person of the year was the journalist. The year before that, 2016, the person of the year was Donald Trump.
Hold on. You can't just go the profession, can you?
Well, they did because journalists had it pretty rough the last year.
I know, but
and it was a little
man
off
or
track.
person? It's person of the year. I don't pick a profession.
Yeah.
State of Indiana. I don't like that. You narrow it down to one journalist.
Pick a journalist.
Then pick a journalist and say, we did this for journalists, but I still want a face.
Okay.
I want a person.
You
I
heard
don't
him,
like it when
Tom.
they spread it out.
Yeah.
You go with Keanu Reeves. That's
I'm
a
not
call.
debating that.
That's right. He's a good man. He's kind of a quiet dignity and wisdom to him. And
good sense of humor about himself.
He likes motorcycles.
You need to get him in here for a little podcast action.
There's
motorcycles.
There's a joke, Max Zapata. I think it's on, I don't know, Adam Carolla Goes Racing or something like that. When I was interviewing him and Guard, his guy at Goodwood in England, the joke I made at the end of it where I wanted to talk about the business. I think you can take a look at it. He got a laugh out of that. All right, let me hit Geico. Everyone's got the to-do list. How about you save a bunch of money on your auto insurance? Go to geico.com. 15 minutes, you could be saving 15% or more on your car insurance. Take that extra money, put it in your pocket, be the most rewarding thing you do all day. That is Geico. Geico.com. 15 minutes, could be saving 15% or more on your auto insurance at geico.com. All right, let's do one more.
All right. Well, good news for Kit Harington. Reported a while back that he had checked himself into a very, very fancy rehab, was having a tough time after Game of Thrones had ended. And he's apparently out, seems to be doing well, was spotted in London looking refreshed with a non-alcoholic drink in his hand. The Game of Thrones actor entered treatment for stress and alcohol use around 60 days ago. His rep said last month, Kit decided to utilize this break in his schedule as an opportunity to spend some time at a wellness retreat to work on personal issues. This treatment, as we talked about last time, not free. He entered the ultra-exclusive clinic Privé Suisse in Connecticut. Now, it seems like he may have been there for 60 days. This is called the Rolls-Royce of psychiatric treatment centers, charges $120,000 per 30 days.
You know, I was always thinking the sort of low-end blue-collar version of going to prison for a year so I can write a good screenplay or something. Just get a little time off, quiet the voices a little bit.
Work out.
You know what I mean? Reflect. But
make pneumangria.
How about in the toilet?
Prunogria.
How about the high-end version of this where you check yourself into a rehab without rehab, but it's just meditation and hot yoga and therapy and spin classes, and it's just saunas and detoxing and flushing and diets, and 30 days later, you just come out. Now, you're $100,000 lighter in the wallet, but how's the earning potential for the next 5 years?
Yeah, as an investment.
You know what I mean? You don't think you're going to you're going to take that extra 100 over the next few years and crank that shit up?
Absolutely.
It's kind of interesting.
It's like a retreat.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's like in a weird way, successful people in sort of the middle of their career should probably go check themselves into like a 1-month rehab, even if they want to drink. I'll definitely bring my own booze, BYOB, but I'm just saying like a whole day of just, therapy and counseling and meditation and stretching and
spiritual rehab.
Spiritual rehab. Yeah. That's right.
And you had to keep
Adam Carolla's spiritual rehab.
That's right.
You had to keep him a little humble. Apparently, Kit even watched the Game of Thrones finale in the common room, but I don't think it's like a dorm common room. I'm sure it was lovely.
Do the Game of Thrones people have careers outside of Game of Thrones that's not connected to Game of Thrones over the next decade? Like, are they going to just do straight regular acting roles? And
before everyone jumps and says yes, picture all the big stars from Lost and all the big stars from Sopranos and all the big stars from all the shows that were so beloved that just kind of went away.
Well, there's a loophole, though. There's a British loophole where some of these people were famous and we didn't know them, and they'll continue to be famous in Great Britain. But that is a good question. And of course, we have the Mountain, the guy who played the Mountain, which is, supposed to be he's the strong man, the strongest man in the world. So he'll do his thing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
One of them married a Jonas brother.
Someone's going to need to get those kegs to the upper shelf of the brewery, and that's where the Mountain hammers checks.
Someone's got to pull those big rigs.
That's right.
Get stuck in the mud.
Who's going to pull a DC-10 with their teeth? That plane's not going to move under. Oh, wait a minute.
It has the
Maybe
capacity
it does.
to do that.
Oh, you're right. But how's it going to taxi?
Well.
Oh, yeah. We'll see if the Mountain wins again or not. All right. You good?
You want to bring it home?
Let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. Humping and pumping till his balls turned red.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.